So, today we're going to be discussing photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis occurs in plant cells because they have a really special chemical called chlorophyll inside their cells. So, let's discuss a really quick overview of photosynthesis. So, photosynthesis needs carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide is actually what we breathe out. So, it's a bit of a waste product for us. They also need water, H2O, and really importantly, they need sunlight because sunlight produces photons, which is an energy particle. So, these three inputs are needed for plant cells, which have chlorophyll, to produce carbohydrates, which is a fancy word for sugar, basically. And really importantly, they also produce oxygen, which we all need to breathe in every day. So these two outputs, carbohydrates and oxygen, really are key for life. Carbohydrates provide fuel for animals. We use it during cellular respiration, and we also need oxygen to survive. So let's discuss the equation for photosynthesis. So if we just look at the inputs, we know that photosynthesis needs carbon dioxide and water. And it will convert this into glucose, which is C6H12O6, and oxygen. Now it needs photons, remember, from sunlight, and chlorophyll, which is the green pigment inside plant leaves. But let's just quickly balance the equation. So if I've got 6 carbons on the right, I need 6 carbons on the left. So I put a 6 in front of the carbon dioxide. Now I look at the hydrogens. I've got 12 hydrogens on the right, so I put 6 in front of H2O, and now I've got 12 hydrogens on the left. Now the oxygens. I've got 12 here and 6 here, so that's 18. So if I put a 6 here, I've got 12 here and 6 here, and that equals 18 on each side. So that's the general equation for photosynthesis. Now, we can actually break down photosynthesis into two stages. The first stage is called the light-dependent stage. And it's called light-dependent because it depends on light. It depends on sunlight, because the sun produces light energy particles called photons. Now what these photons will do, just generally, they will excite an electron inside a chlorophyll molecule in the plant cells. This is ultimately used to produce ATP and NADPH. Now the NADPH molecule is really important because this hydrogen can actually be donated along with the electrons for the next stage. The other really important input and output is water. So this light-dependent stage needs water to occur, and it actually breaks down the water into oxygen. Now just keep in mind, this is sort of interesting, oxygen is not actually needed for this. It's actually kind of produced as a waste product. And it's really important for us as humans and every other living, breathing thing on this planet that we have oxygen. So, now the second stage is called the light-independent reaction because it doesn't need the sun to occur, but it will still occur during daylight. In the light-independent reaction, ATP and NADPH, which were made here in the light-dependent reaction, are used in the light-independent reaction, along with another very important input, which is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, ATP, and NADPH are used to make a molecule called pGal or G3P, depending on what your textbook says. And this pGal/G3P is actually the molecule that's used to make glucose. So if we look at the carbons in this, carbon dioxide has one carbon, right? It gets used to make pGal, which is a 3-carbon molecule with a little phosphate tail. Now this 3-carbon molecule is then used to make glucose, which is a 6-carbon molecule. Remember the C6H12O6. So these are the 2 stages of photosynthesis, which are ultimately used to make glucose.